how do you think that being Christian has influenced your life as an adult and the decisions that you have made as an adult?
Because of my religious background, I am a Roman Catholic, brought up in a Catholic country. It has influenced me in many ways by, number one, knowing what's right and wrong, given me a lot of standards to go by in life, a lot that have stood by me, and being able to go to church and having freedom of speech.
So, if you could choose a different religion besides Catholicism, what type of religion would you choose and why?
I'm not very knowledgeable in any other religion besides Catholicism. So that's a hard decision to make. A hard choice.
Fine. If you had to pick a different sect of Catholicism, what would you pick?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. There's a different one.
Yeah.
This is the only one that I know. Sorry about that.
So, what would you say is the biggest aspect of your life that Christianity influences? Like, your spending, I don't know, your...
It's kind of difficult. Am I on that? Oh, can I say, am I on that?
And you're on Larry King tonight.
Zach, that's something I've never really thought about. It's just something you accept and you go along with.
Like, has it ever, influenced you in, a certain moment of your life? When's the moment of your life that you felt the most Catholic?
Christmas.
A specific year or just normally at Christmas?
Not every year. Every year at Christmas time is the best time of year for me. It brings back childhood memories. It's a time when we believe that Christ was born, and we go to church and celebrate it with family, friends, and feast.
So, do you like Easter too then, or is just Christmas your favorite?
Christmas is my favorite. Easter also is a very important time. That's when Christ rose again from the dead, and you go to church and you also celebrate that religion.
So, have you ever felt that conflict with Christianity in your life, like a certain decision you're making or a certain part of your life? Like, does your dancing ever get...
No, that does not influence me by any means. Not really. I accept what I was taught, and religion was always a big part of my growing up life, and it has stood by me as an adult.
So you've never been at conflict with it at all?
Not really. I mean, there's a lot of things going on now with priests molesting children and covering up and all that I get a little disgusted with, but it's part of what's going on. No control over that.
So true. So anyway, now, Nana, you were raised in Ireland. So what would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned from having... How many siblings did you have?
I had a total of 12 in the family. My parents 14.
Nice.
And I was more or less in the middle.
So what would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned from dealing with 14 people in the family?
14 people. You have to learn to share. You have to wait your turn. It depends on where you came in the family, if you're the first, second, or third, or you're the very last. And it's help yourself type thing at the dinner table. You better grab real fast.
So, when you came to America, what would you say is the biggest change?
Biggest change when I came to the United States was cultural shock more than anything else, because there's so many different cultures in the United States, whereas in Ireland I grew up and everybody was Irish, and basically that was it. Nobody hung out their laundry on a Sunday, and if you did it in the privacy of your own backyard. But that was a big shocker when I came here and saw my next door neighbor's laundry hung out on a Sunday. There's a lot of slang. They certainly don't speak the King's English, but then again, we're not in England. Their sense of humor is a little bit different, and their terminology is different.
Were there any words that got lost in...
Oh yeah. Elevator, we call it a lift. Tomato, we call tomato.
Does that make you mad?
I could go on and on. No, not really. I just had to learn to adjust because I felt, while if you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do.
So, where did you learn that if you're in Rome, do as the Romans do?
Oh, I learned that maybe in London when I did my nurse's training there.
How old were you when you did your
I
nurses?
was 18 when I left home and went to England and did a 3-year course in nursing and then specialized in what we call midwifery, delivering babies for a year.
So how would that, how would you say that your time in London influenced your personality?
I grew up.
Really?
Basically.
Really fast?
Grew up
It was
from a
like,
country to a big city. Yes, it was
was it a big shock?
very exciting to be in the city and nobody knew who you were. There's a lot of
Did you make a lot of friends, Nana?
I made the usual amount of friends as you would in
Nana, you're a
any
popular
school.
gal.
I am right now.
So did you assimilate quickly or?
I would say yes, because you're young and yeah, you can adjust a lot easier than you can if you're older or if you're a young child. Yes, I adjusted.
Were there any other like Irish people with you or?
Yes, Irish was every nationality, Jamaican, Peruvian, Swedish, different nationalities all over Europe came to London to be a nurse.
Did you feel drawn towards the Irish because of your background or no?
Not really. I felt if I wanted to stay with the Irish, I should have stayed there, so I was very happy to be among the English and different nationalities.
So who were you drawn towards then? The English
I would
or
say more the
the
English.
Jamaican?
No, not really. More the English I was drawn, because they were in the majority.
Right. So I've sort of already asked this, but so you say the biggest lesson that you've learned from your 14 people in your family was that you have to share everything. So how has this helped you in the United States?
Oh, it has helped me greatly because you don't think of yourself first, there's always somebody else. You get along better with people because you've done all your arguing among your own siblings, so once you get out in the open air, then you don't argue with people because it's out of your system. I feel I'm a better person because of growing up in a big family. You have to help out, do your share, make your beds, all those good things that kids don't like to do nowadays.
So, if you could choose to go back and live in Ireland, or if you could choose to stay in Ireland your whole life, do you think you would, or?
No, I would not, because then I feel instead of going forward, I'd be going backward.
But would you go back and visit for a couple of
I
years?
would certainly go back and visit. I do go back and visit almost every year, but go back. The only reason I go back is to see my family, and then I'm happy, so then I come back here again.